Hey guys, this is Candy and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time, it's a pleasure to have you guys joining. If it is not your first time, welcome back. And today's video, first of all, let me hope that you are all doing well, that everybody is staying safe. This is a trying time for all of us, but we have to remain strong and trust God that He will see us through this process. But anyhow, today I wanted to show you a tutorial as to how I install these bob faux locks. Yes, I spent the day installing them yesterday, and I thought that I would just record it so that you guys can see how it's done in case you wanted to try it. So if it is something that you're interested to see, go ahead and watch this video. Alright, let's get straight into it. So I started off on freshly washed hair, and the two types of hair that I used was, first of all, I used Zury Mali twist hair or Zury Mali braid, and I ended up using 2 packs of those. I'm trying to make you guys see the name of the hair, but it wouldn't focus. And I also used Janet Collection, and this is their Afro Kinky bulk 24 inches braiding hair. But I'm starting off first of all with the Zury Mali twist, and this is what the hair looks like straight out of the pack. But what I did was I cut the hair in 3 equal parts to get a shorter length for the back portion of the hair. So let me just try to get this hair controlled before I start to work with the braiding process. Alright, so as usual, I'm starting off in the back, and I'm just using the comb to part off the first section of hair. I'm not doing boxes. I'm just, using the tail of the comb to just pick out a section of hair that I'm going to be starting off with. And very important, you guys, if you do not take anything else away from this tutorial, you need to ensure that you moisturize your hair thoroughly when you're doing any type of faux locks hairdo, because your hair will be locked away and it's hard to get to your own hair in order to keep it moisturized. So what I did was I put leave-in conditioner and of course my favorite oil, Jamaican black castor oil, and this is from the One True Natural line, which is my very own line. I will put the link to the shop where you can order if you're interested. Alright, so having fully moisturized, I'm just starting off, of course, with a braid, which is the most effective way that I find to install the braid, this particular braid, to ensure that the hair stays in place. So I'm braiding for about a 3/4 inch, then I start twisting. Alright, so I've pretty much went ahead and twisted in a good chunk of my hair. So now I'm at the last portion in the front. So I'm gonna just section off the partings in order to, you know, continue installing those twists. And of course, you guys, I always reinforce the fact that it is important to pay attention to your partings, because that will definitely determine, sorry, that will definitely determine how full your hairstyle looks, and you know, avoid you having a whole lot of spaces and scalp showing when your hair is completed. You do not want that. So parting is everything. I already have a dedicated video to show you how to part your hair in order to have a full looking braid style, so I will link that also so that you guys can watch at your convenience. And again, remember, I can't express enough how important it is to make sure your hair is moisturized underneath your locks. So that's what I'm doing, paying keen attention to moisturizing my hair. And for the front portion of my hair, because I'm going for a bob look, and not just a bob but an angular type bob, I am using longer pieces in the front. So instead of cutting the front portion in 3 pieces, I'm cutting it in half, just so that the hair falls longer than the back portion. Separating the hair and just taking off the amount that I need in order to get the size that, you know, I desire. Alright, and just like that, I'm pretty much done with the first phase of the installation process, and yeah, it's time to move on to the wrapping. And you guys, the hair that I'm using, which is a Janet Afro Kinky bulk hair, this is the length that it actually comes in, so I did not have to cut the hair at all. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding it taut at the root, and I start wrapping. Of course, I'm going to ensure that I wrap initially for about 4 times around itself before I start wrapping in a downward motion. And the whole point of wrapping it multiple times initially is to ensure that the hair is firmly secured before you start to actually create the lock by wrapping downward. And one thing to note, you want to ensure that you spread the hair out with your fingers before wrapping, just to create more coverage for the twisted hair, so that the hair is fully covered and the twisted hair is not showing through the locks. So you want to determine the length that you're going for. Once you have gotten to that length, you are going to bend or turn the end upward and then start wrapping in place again at the very end, just to secure the end the same way you did the top or the beginning of the lock. It's pretty much the same way that you're going to do at the tip or the end of the lock. Wrap it a couple times, for about 3 or 4 times, before you start wrapping in an upward motion. So you're pretty much doing the opposite of what you did when you just started. So once you're nearing the end of the hair, meaning when you no longer have any hair remaining to wrap, then you are going to just make a slip knot and tie that off in order to secure the lock and keep it from unraveling. So I wrap the hair around the finger, and I'm gonna use the tail of the comb to just insert it and fish for the end of the hair and try to pull it through. Of course, it's not really working initially, but yeah, just give me a minute, we're gonna get this done. Wrap it around the finger, push the tail of the comb through the loop, try to find the end and kind of hook it and pull it through that loop, and finally it emerges. Make that knot, and of course I'm going to repeat the process just for reinforcement, just for that added security. Yeah. And yeah, why not one more time? 3 times is a charm. The 3rd time is a charm. Yeah, so we did that, and just to seal the deal, I'm doing a palm roll to smooth down the lock and to tame any flyaways. And there you have it, lock number 1. All right, so again, I have wrapped most of the hair off camera, and now I am back to show you guys from a more closer vantage point how I do the wrapping. And again, I'm trying to get the front portion to be longer than the back portion to give it that angular bob look. So I'm holding the hair downwards alongside the twisted hair, holding it in place, and I start wrapping for about 3 or 4 times close to the root. And be sure not to wrap it too tight, you guys, because if your lock is wrapped too tightly at the root, it will be very uncomfortable. The hair will not be very flexible or movable close to the root area, and it will be an absolute pain for you until that hair somewhat grows out. So yeah, make sure it is loose enough at the end, at the roots rather. So what I'm doing is just wrapping all the way down. And there's a lot of measuring involved with this style because you have to measure each of the locks to ensure that they're at the exact length that you want them. Whether you're comparing it with the one that you previously did to match the length with that one, or to ensure that it is longer than the one that you did before, if it's that portion in the front that you want to be longer. And of course, when I get to the longer portions, the hair is not enough to completely wrap the entire lock, so I have to add an additional piece towards the end and just continue wrapping. And once I measure and determine that it's at the length that I want it to be, then of course you want to seal off the end by wrapping or folding the hair upward, and then wrapping in place for about a couple 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times rather, at the end, just to seal off the end so that the lock does not come loose. And then you continue by wrapping upwards. Yeah. And once you've determined that the hair is at that point where it's no longer feasible to continue wrapping, then you're going to create that knot by making the loop, using the tail of the comb to make a slip knot, and repeat. Roll the excess hair, and of course you have to finger roll just to seal it properly and get rid of any frizzes. All right, and so I only have one remaining. Yes. And there you have it, you guys. I have finally completed the look. And if I was to estimate how long it took, because it's kind of hard to, give you an accurate count as to how many hours it took, because I stopped, I cooked, I did my nails, I watched a movie, I spoke on the phone, so I didn't do it continuously. But if I was to estimate, I think it took maybe 7 or 8 hours in total. Yeah, so yeah, this is the look, you guys. That's what the back looks like. And of course, to get the hair in good healthy order, I am spraying the One True Natural Shine of Mine, which again is from my product line, and I'm just concentrating it towards the root just to keep my own hair nice and conditioned and healthy throughout the protective styling period. And again, if you guys would like to order this product, I will leave the link also in the description box. Alright, and I'm massaging that in just to ensure that it is fully absorbed and equally distributed in the scalp. And again, for the hairline, guys, I do not play when it comes onto my hairline. So again, I'm going in with this authentic farm to shelf Jamaican black castor oil, again from my line, and I'm just concentrating that towards the front of my hair, the hairline, just so the hair remains healthy, moisturized, and that it will thicken and grow as this oil is known to do. Yeah. And for the actual locks, I'm using the olive oil mousse just to soften the hair and to tame any flyaways or frizzes, or to give it a nice healthy look. So I'm just using that product to do so. Initially the hair feels a little bit stiff, not very stiff, but with time, over time, it will kind of get looser and more flexible. And if you guys wanted to go ahead and get that process going prematurely, then you can just stand in the shower with the water on a high heat, and it will help to loosen the locks. Yeah, so there you have it, you guys, the faux bob locks. And I thank you guys for watching. Sorry for any background noises, but you guys know how it is. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, rate, subscribe, and share this video.